I'm going to give it an opinion here today as a Gen Z, and I need you to hear me out on it. Because, yes, whilst Chappell Roan being repeatedly under controversy is a slightly different issue, it does bring up a good topic that I don't see enough of us addressing, which is that Gen Z kind of sucks as a generation. And I say this as a Gen Z myself. I've seen a couple people mention that Gen Z seem like they're in line to become the next boomers, and from what I've seen, I kind of agree with that take. We are an extremely hypocritical and contradictory generation. And a lot of us seem to be running off of the rules for thee but not me principle. Because on one hand, we have a lot of anxiety, and that's not entirely our fault, right? The economy is terrible, politics is terrible, it seems like everything is falling apart and the world is on fire. And this has forced us to grow up very quickly. Most politics has always been a thing. After asking a lot of the older generations I know, it seems like now more than ever there's this pressure to get involved at younger and younger ages and be educated on all of these issues so quickly, which leads to a lot of defensiveness and insecurity and inability to be like, hey, I don't know everything because I literally just got on the scene yesterday. I'm very much so still learning and I'm going to mess up a lot. The truth of the matter is knowledge takes time and experience and effort, and we hold each other to these standards that the generations before us had years to reach. And an important part of it all is acknowledging the humility of it all and saying, I don't know everything, I'm still learning. Anxiety and the perfectionism isn't allowing people a lot of wiggle room to make mistakes and admit these things. That's a large part where Chappell Roan gets in trouble a lot because she gets very defensive and says, well, why would you turn to a pop star for activism? Now, Chappell, you know why, and a better response would have been, hey, I'm just doing my best and I'm learning as I go. But on top of all of this, to contradict it all, Gen Z is also the most right-leaning of the generations. They've brought back saying slurs, and they've even invented some new ones. And this strange divide does create a lot of fake activist online warriors who will log off and be a completely different person. And I especially see this ironic hypocrisy because they're so quick to cancel culture, right? To holding everyone to these super high standards. But then the two people you've chosen to lead this cancel culture are Candace Owens, right? Who used to be head of the MAGA right-wingers. Already a crazy choice to look up to for your progressive values. And two, Be Better, who was literally openly schmacist and has a long history of misogyny. And not only did he never apologize for that first one, but he actually put out a video saying, I'm right, actually, and doubling down on it. Those are the two people you chose to hold people accountable. And I get comments all the time of people being like, well, I just like their coverage on the Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively case. Listen, I'm not taking sides on that. But do you hear how that sounds? That's who you're allowing to give you information. That's like going into Tesla, being about to sign the dotted line with the dealer, and then asking the Tesla dealer's opinion actually on the new electric Mercedes. But I think overall, Gen Z has just become a very hotbed of react first, think maybe second. And I know my personal goal as a Gen Z in 2025 is being more open to mistakes, just taking a deep breath and being more forgiving. And understanding that I know I'm very far from perfect and still learning, so everyone else is as well. And my new mantra is being held accountable for something is not the same thing as canceling someone. And if they give a genuine apology and they seem like they've grown and changed, then I'm going to try and make that good enough for me. Although to be clear, that does not apply to all offenses, okay? Some people I'm okay letting go.